ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦੇ ਮੁਕੰਦੇ ਉਦਾਰੇ ਅਪਾਰੇ, ਹਰੀਆਂ ਕਰੀਆਂ ਨਿਰਨਾਮੇ ਅਕਾਮੇ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦੇ ਮੁਕੰਦੇ ਉਦਾਰੇ ਅਪਾਰੇ, ਹਰੀਆਂ ਕਰੀਆਂ ਨਿਰਨਾਮੇ ਅਕਾਮੇ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। Today we're going to discuss next few salok. So in this next salok, the Sikh says to Guru Maharaj that Maharaj, with your kirpa, I have known about the Atam Sarup. Maharaj, you have explained it well, and I have started to know what Atam Sarup is. But could you also do Kirpa and explain how to gain the experience of this Atma now? I know the theory of it. So there are two types of Atam Gyan. One is the theoretical, what we are reading about, and then there is the practical. So when we read the theory, that's known as the theoretical, and when we apply that wisdom, when what we are reading, when we apply it, that becomes the practical gyan, the aprok gyan it's known as, or anupav prakash. So Sikh says, Maharaj, how do we experience this now? So Guru explains that what is gyan actually? Gyan is not about reading so many granths. There is only one gyan, one and only gyan in the entire universe, in the whole, no matter wherever you are, there is only one gyan only, which is the gyan of Atma. It is the Sat Chitanand. No matter how many granths one might read, how many books about spirituality, any amount of granths one reads, they will reach the same gyan only, because there is only one gyan. All the routes goes to the same one destination, the one wisdom. First we learn about Sat Chitanand. But when we experience the Sat Chitanand, then that is the practical gyan. So before, someone due to agyanta, they consider themselves to be this body only, as to be their real sarup. And now after doing abhyas of Gurbani or Granth, he has known his Atam Avastha. And within himself, he considers himself as Brahm. Then he is known as Gyani. Now, this doesn't mean that we go around about and keep telling people around us that I am Brahma, I am Atma, do my puja. If we still do this or have this ichha, then we are still a Gyani. And when the Brahma Gyan Avastha is achieved, he doesn't say anything to anyone, because he is in that Brahma Avastha. Whom will they go and say that I am Brahm? Because there is no second object for in that avastha. So nor he wants to hear his praises, nor is scared of any nindya. A Brahmgyani is above all these. But he still does prachar of the Brahm, of the Sat Vastu. He still talks about it from the personal experience as well, just like how they have attained that avastha, that how I have attained this ananda state, they want other people to experience the same as well. That if I have attained this through the practice, the same avastha can be attained by anyone as well by doing the abhyas. Rather than saying I am Brahm, he does prachar of Brahm. Then what happens when one becomes still in a Brahm avastha, in Atam Sarup? What happens there is they become mukt. And who is becoming mukt? Who is becoming liberated? It is the mind. Because the mind leaves the dukh and sukh, all the labels, and becomes still in Atam as its true self. There are no labels left there. So this is known as mukti. This is the uttam mukti. There is no attachment there. Then mind, after leaving its separate identity, it becomes one with Atma, and then it remains one as Atma itself. All that remains is Atma then. Sikh asked Maharaj that after attaining this avastha or gyan, what kind of actions shall I do from this body then? Guru explains that until and unless one does abhyas, the practice of the Brahm Vidya, or they do the Nishkam, unless and until they do the Nishkam Seva without any expectations of anything in return, they are doing the Seva. Without the doing this, the Brahmavastha cannot be achieved. So the practice is absolutely necessary there, and so is the Seva without any desires, without any expectation. But once they attain it, then all the secrets of the Brahm gets unlocked to them. So even with Krishna Maharaj, so Krishna Maharaj ji was seen by hanging out with so many gopis as well in his Sargun Sarup. Those around him saw him as that he's experiencing all these things. But because they didn't know the gyan of who Krishna was as Atma, they did not know what was happening. So Guruji explains, then a Brahmgyani, no matter whatever he wishes to eat or experience, they can do it. Or if they wishes to get rid of anything in their entire life, even if they don't want to wear any clothes or they want to wear clothes, they will do it. That's totally up to them. They might experience whatever they want to, or they can renounce whatever they want to. Even some Brahmgyanis have been known as that they decided to go completely naked. They decided to remove all their clothes. And whenever it will please them, they will put them back on. But if someone tells us to go completely naked, we will feel so embarrassed. We will think, what will the world say? What will our family say? We still have that fear of being judged by others. But if someone tells us, hey, you should buy this new car, it's really, a new car, you deserve it, or there are this new thing available in the market, you should get that, we will think about buying it because we think there is still some benefit coming out of that. Or if someone says, hey, I'll pay you $60 per hour for the work, we will immediately do that. What this means is that we are so easily willing to run after the material world, but cannot do something that causes us embarrassment because there is still the fear of being judged. There is still desire there and worry about the world. What will the world perceive us as? But a Brahmgyani is not like this. If someone brings something to them, a material thing, they do not become happy about it. And if they take the same thing away from them, they don't get upset about it too. So a Brahmgyani, while staying in Maya, does not get affected by pap or pun, the good or bad. They don't get affected by it. But when others see a Brahmgyani doing things in the world, to them they will still see that there is pap happening, there is good or bad happening. Even sometimes they might see that a Brahmgyani is doing some kind of good action, or he's doing great, or he's actually doing something wrong. But for Brahmgyani, neither there is good happening, no pap, no bad things is happening, no pun, no pap. He doesn't get affected by either of that. There is no pap or pun for a Brahmgyani. And those who are around Brahmgyani, like his family, friends, or students who are learning from him, that pun that Brahmgyani is doing, it gets distributed among them. In the same way, if a Brahmgyani is seen doing a pap by others around him, if his family or anyone around him thinks that he's doing some kind of bad behavior or pap, it does not get affected as well. The pap does not affect the Brahmgyani too. Because he is still in Atam Avastha. There is no pap or pun in Atam state. That pap then gets distributed among those who do Nindya of Brahmgyani. When Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, when people around him would see him go for hunting or doing shikar, they would say that Maharaj, you are doing this, you're doing these kind of activities and they are not good. But Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj would say that I'm not doing it. Because he was in Atam Avastha, he was not doing it. But those who were looking at him, to them, he was doing something wrong, morally wrong, or some based on that. So that's how people around the Brahmgyani perceive it as either it's good happening something or bad happening. But the Brahmgyani neither gets affected by the good nor by the bad. Hanji. Next, Maharaj explains that the main lesson or the description of all the Vedas are the same as well. That do not consider yourself to be the Jeev. Consider the Jeev and the Ishwar to be Atma only. Because it is Atma. And as we previously discussed, that everything, even the body of the Jeev and Ishwar, they are formed from the same five elements. The five elements that form the body of a Jeev, the same five elements create the body of the Ishwar. And the difference between Jeev and Ishwar are at the level of qualities, but they are Atma only. It is the Atma that is the Jeev, it is the Atma that is the Ishwar. So this is the Sar of all the Vedas. Maharaj says, whatever one wishes to do with the Shakti of Atam Bal, when one is still in the Atam Avastha, one can do that based on the Shakti of Atma as a Brahmgyani. If he wishes to win over the world, he can. If he wishes to renounce the world, he can do that too. So Maharaj explains these are some signs of Brahmgyani, the qualities of Brahmgyani. Even in Maharaj in Sukhmani Sahib explains the qualities of Brahmgyani, that he is nirlep, like there is lotus on the water, how the lotus does not get, it is on the water but it's still detached, it does not get affected by the water. So if one needs to read more about the signs of Brahmgyani, they can have a read from Sukhmani Maharaj. So Maharaj Kripa, we are almost at the end of this Granth, and it is so important to put this Granth in practice, because if clearly this whole wisdom can be practically applied into one's life, they will surely achieve the Brahm Gyan Avastha. But at the same time, it is up to them how willingly, how much effort, honestly and willingly they are ready to put that effort, to put this wisdom into practice. Or are they just going to keep waiting that I'll keep reading more and more, I'll read this book, I'll read that book, I'll read from this different channel, I'll do this. All these different things are there, but they're going to reach the ultimate same state. It is really up to you how much effort or willingness we are ready to do to be able to reach this avastha. It can happen in few seconds, it can happen in 1 month. If someone is doing abhyas of this Granth, to them it can happen on 6 months or 1 year from now. But sometimes it can even take ages, so many births, because we are not willing to put that effort of, we read but we do not apply in the life. So Maharaj Kripa, may we read but at the same time apply each and every lesson from this Granth as well. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.